Is the volume of the is the audio too loud?
Uwaifo. You never start. You're the.
So it's about to start now. Yeah, I see it.
Mm.
It's going on now. All right, I think it has started. Let me just play my music.
Turn down your volume. Everybody can hear you.
Turn it down.
It was about the third week into Kathy's weight loss battle where things really started to go downhill. She was eating.
The all-new Kia K5 is bringing sporty back to the sedan. You'll love its turbo.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the Jobran Idele-Ero show happening live from Dallas, Texas. We are about to begin the show. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. If you are just tuning in, please share the program with your friends and all your contacts. Everybody in your contacts, share the program with them so they can be part of it. It's going to be an explosive topic of discussion today. Please do not forget, just join us and subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you can always get the best of discussion program happening live on Facebook and YouTube, all the way from Dallas, Texas. This is Jobran Idele-Ero. I'll be with you with a few guests today to discuss the topic that we have for today. Don't forget, once again, please share the program. Share the program to your friends and family, all your contact, all your groups. Let them be part of this program. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your voice, because this is the only live broadcasting station that you get the best, the truth of the way it is. Thank you for joining us once again. I'm going to introduce my very first guest to you today, all the way from London, United Kingdom. I have the pleasure of having to discuss the issue that is trending today, Mr. Ronnie Jacobs. Mr. Ronnie Jacobs is a great man that you all know. He's been appearing on this show a few times, and he continues to support us in this show. He runs an NGO. He is the sole owner of the NGO Cancel Cancer. It is a very popular NGO all over the world. That he has a mission, to support those who are infected with cancer. A lot of people have died, out of ignorance, and probably out of without no support, financially and medically. So, Mr. Ronnie Jacobs, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, and I want to highly appreciate you for the show that you put together, and also for your passion to see a change in your country. I always say to Africans in diaspora, if many of us can make an effort to try to improve things locally, things will get better. So I want to say thank you for your efforts and your passion, to make a difference. So I'm looking forward to having a good discussion, a robust conversation today around your topic. And I want to welcome the audience. As you're watching, please share the show so more people can get involved, and so we can encourage more diasporas to invest in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jacobs. So with that being said, he just told you about what we're going to discuss today. The subject of discussion today is investment. Now, in particular with Edo State, we are now taking, the Edo State is taking the lead on what is going on in Nigeria. The election that just took place in Nigeria, we all see that it was something that has never happened before. It was a unique election, and therefore we are now, other states are going to follow suit. They're going to be taking steps from what Edo State has just started. And then you see that the revolution going on. I have blogged about it before and I've talked about it, that we have a silent revolution which started in Edo State. So all these are what we need to talk about today regarding the investment. Again, we are going to take Edo as a case study. Now that we have a governor and a government in place that listen to the people, we are now going to talk about how to partner with the government. We're talking about the indigenous, not just the foreigners alone coming to invest in the country. So that is our subject of discussion today. Mr. Ronnie Jacobs, by the way, what is investment?
Thank you one more for having us. And I think we are, as you said, we do run an NGO both in Nigeria and in Kenya. And in particular, we operate in Edo State, where we then reach out to other states and countries. And one of the biggest why what you're saying is very important is because the whole conversation that we're trying to have is to try and see how we can engage more diasporas to come and invest in their states. Diasporas are from different states and different countries in Africa, but the time has come for us all to begin to consider how can we go and invest in our country in order to help the people who are unemployed and help reduce the unemployment deficit and also help increase the income of those who are there. However, we do realize that there's a lot of challenges and a lot of reasons that would discourage diasporas. One of the issues that you just raised, you talked about the current trending police protest that's going on in Nigeria. These are all small factors that contribute to making you to think, do I really want to go and invest in that country? Do I really want to go through that risk? Because before you make an investment, you ask me the question, what's investment? I wanted to just give a preamble before you make an investment, you must calculate the risk. You must do like a risk assessment. What's the risk involved? And what is the longevity of that investment? How long will it take for me to get a return on my investment? Is there going to be what circumstances, for example, political or technological or environmental or economical, as I say in the pestle analysis, what can really impact my business? And those are the things that a business person will think of. So we must say to Africans in diasporas, not just because you are a Nigerian or from Ghana or from Kenya, you just say, I want to go and invest home. You must make sure you do a proper analysis to understand how does the political climate impact your investment? Now, if you look at the security of the country at the moment, the biggest challenge that most people will say is security issue is just not supporting. So I know we're going to talk more about that later on, but I just wanted to give your audience to understand that they need to make sure that they carry a proper political, economical, technological, legal analysis around their investment before they begin to decide, okay, I'm going to go home and invest, but you must understand what can affect your business from a micro level and from a macro level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jacobs. As you just heard from him, investment generally is what is going on now. The whole Africa, a lot of people left home, went to the diaspora to explore and leaving their country behind. They have been very, very successful in various endeavors in the diaspora. And the impact, basically, about 80% of the impact is on their primary countries where they are based. But the countries back home in Africa is suffering, and we have a lot of people with, technological, awareness. We have a lot of people who are skilled in technology. We have a lot of people who are skilled in various, lives endeavor. We have medical doctors. We have people who are also vast in agriculture. We have people who are engineers. They are using their, their might, their strength, and their knowledge in their primary country where they live. Meanwhile, back in Africa, they are needed. They are needed out there to help, to support. How does that work? It is about time for us to start, transitioning back home, to contribute, to give back to your own country of birth. So that's why this topic of discussion today is very important. We're not going to stay outside of our country forever, while we are putting our strength to help the where we are to grow. Meanwhile, our own nation and continent, at large, is suffering from human resources. So we have the natural resources already, but we need the human resources. We need you to come back home and invest and partner with the government. We're going to start with Edo State as a case study, like I said earlier. We need you, Edolites that are outside the country, that are outside Nigeria, outside Edo State, to come back home and partner with the government. Invest in your place so that the people will also benefit from your investment. How does that work? A lot of ways. I'm not going to just overflog it. I'm going to let people like Ronnie J, who is already here. I'm expecting other guests to join us. But in the meantime, I'm saying that if you go home from wherever you are to invest, because the environment is now conducive. There's a peaceful environment, especially in Edo State. We have always been a peaceful people, and the security has improved a lot. So there is no fear, no need to be afraid that if I go home, something will happen to me. No, just go home and try and give back to your place. Giving back, when you invest, people will benefit. How do they benefit? You're going to employ people and put food in the table of that family. Let it be one, let it be two, let it be three, four, or more, as it depends on the size of your investment. So, and the state government is prepared to also assist you to succeed. That is why we are encouraging everybody to go home. So, Mr. Jacobs, um, I'm gonna throw this back to you to help us out. In what form do you think the government can assist people, can encourage people to come back home to invest?
Thank you very much for that introduction. And I would have to disagree with you in a couple of ways, because I strongly believe that we are at a point now where we ask the question, it is not what the government can do for you, or what you can do for your country. That's where we are in Africa. We have been waiting for the government for years. Some countries have had their independence for 60, 50, I mean, God knows how long, and they're still waiting for the government. The notion that the government has to do everything, we need to begin to change our orientation and our belief, our expectations of what the government should do is way too high. That's my opinion. We have placed so much emphasis and so much responsibility on the government that we think that the government, is responsible for ensuring that the income coming to the state or the country, the government has to provide all that. No. What the government's responsibility is to provide a viable environment to attract investment. When they do that, that's one of their priorities. I'm not saying security is not their priority, or providing labor is not their priority, but one of the key things the government needs to do for diasporas to come and invest in the country is to ensure that they provide a viable environment that would attract investors. I love the part that you said you're using Edo State as an example. For example, if you go to Edo State and you want to invest, you want to build a property or build a business, you don't have to pay a lot of money to register for your land that you want to use. The process of registration is made easier. That's attractive for investors. However, you want to be sure, the only challenge I think, as you said, that the government needs to really face is a security issue. If you ask anybody, say, listen, why can't you go and invest in Africa? They'll tell you either security or they'll tell you power, which is, for example, electricity, because you need that to be able to develop your business. However, or nevertheless, it does not mean that you should just lock up and think until security is perfect or the electricity or power is perfect, I can't invest. People are investing every single day in England, in America, in Brazil. People are investing into their business. And I'll shock you to know that they will tell you only 3% of the businesses that are registered every day succeed, last the first 2 years. 3%. It's the same thing. The percentage might be lower in Africa, but if you're persistent in what you're doing, and you're skilled and you know what you're doing, don't just wake up and say, well, everyone is opening a hotel, you want to go open a hotel, but you don't understand how to run a hospitality business. Don't say, oh, because Joe Brown has a TV show, I'm going to go start a TV show, but you don't have the personnel or the persona to communicate with people. So you need to invest along the field that you have experience and expertise in. The reason I'm saying this is this. If you invest in Africa, for example, and you're going back and forth to manage that business, but you don't really understand the business, you put in the business in the hands of somebody who understands the business, who you employ back in Africa, then I'm sorry, you're making a grave mistake. You have to understand the business you're involved in. At this level. If you're thinking of a bigger level, it's a different ballgame where you're investing a lot of millions and you know that you can get a lot of investment. However, if you only invest in, for example, £100,000 or $100,000, you got to be on ground to understand your business. Even if you're on ground in Texas and you know how it runs in Texas, you have to go and establish it to run wherever you want to do that. So I want to encourage those who are still watching. We've been running our charity business now, our charity organization, since 2016. We employed a lot of staff. We work 6 days a week, and we've been doing this consistently through all the challenges. We've learned how to deal with the challenges. We've learned how to grow. We've learned how to work with people. We expanded into other areas because we were able to weather the storm. I'm based in the UK, but I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to manage the organization. And because of that, I can say, yes, there's security challenges. Yes, there's electricity challenges. Apart from those two, don't depend on the government for your business to succeed. When you make that mistake, you say, oh, unless I'm going to go to Nigeria and I'm going to start a business, and when I start the business, I'm going to be getting contracts from the government, then you have failed from the beginning. Your business should be based upon the services you provide to the local people. The local people should be able to keep your business running. When you depend on the government for contracts and for business from the government, then you failed from the beginning. It's not what the government can do to you, but what you can do for your government. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jacob. You just heard from him talking about what you can do for your people, not what the government can do for you. That one has been stressed continuously in this program. Our ambassador, who is a regular guest on this show, have often repeated that it is not what the government can do for you that matters anymore. It is what you can do for your people. Now, again, coming back to our state, Edo State, we are encouraging everybody, including myself that is here, to go back home and invest. Partner with the government. How do you partner with the government? The government is there. They have encouraged us. They are telling you that the security issue is being addressed. And then also they are giving you soft landing to come home so that you won't be scared. They're giving you a soft landing, come home, and then whatever that you need that will make it easy for you, they are prepared to assist in that area. That is what we are talking about. And do not forget, as Mr. Jacob said, when you are investing, make sure that you are investing on your area of expertise, where you have knowledge. Do not divert, because somebody else is doing and being successful in one particular area, you want to do that. No, just focus on what you know how to do best. We just got the ambassador just showed up. I barely mentioned his name. I guess he probably heard that I mentioned his name. That's why he's showing up now. I have the ambassador, who is our regular special guest of this program, showing up. We're talking about Ambassador Mathew Beeki Uwaifo. He's a diplomat based in Tanzania and all over East Africa. He's in charge of that area. He goes around that area. He's mostly in Kenya, So, and he's here again today to join us to discuss this issue of investment in Africa generally, Nigeria, and then we are going to be focusing on Edo State. Ambassador Beeki Uwaifo, Mathew Beeki Uwaifo, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. God bless. I'm happy to be there, and sorry I'm late. The network had to be made I had to make sure the network was steady before I joined up. The equipment were being fixed and we are ready to go now.
Thank you so
Sorry
much.
for the delay.
That's fine, no problem, sir. It happens. That's what we are talking about now. If people who has some expertise in this area, who are in the diaspora, Africans who are in diaspora, I know they are doing pretty well in technology, so they can go back home. All this issue will, be like a piece of cake, So they take care of that. It will not be a problem. Why are we going to continue to remain in the diaspora when we can go home? And then challenge ourselves and give back to our nation or continent what we have learned and what we have been able to do wherever we are in the field of our endeavor. Ambassador Uwaifo, we've been talking about investment, which is the main topic of today. It is a very wide topic, and I'm glad that you have joined us. Mr. Jacobs has talked a little bit about it. I have also contributed. So we're glad that you are here. Even if other guests are coming today, I think we are capable of taking our audience along. So, investment. What is investment, and how can people go home to invest? Ambassador Uwaifo.
Thank you very much once again for having me. Good evening, Mr. Ronnie Jacobs. I hope you've had a good time from the last time we met.
Yes, welcome.
I think right now we are living in interesting times. Interesting times because the era has now dawned on all of us, and we thank God that it's in our lifetime, where things are being done differently to have a different result from what we used to have before. Now, Edo State government has done everything they can since the inception of the administration of Governor Obaseki in 2016. A lot of enablement has been done to make sure that whoever decides to invest can be able to make a profit on and a profitable return on his investment capital. Now, I will start first of all with the issue of business registration, because in the past, if you even wanted to register your business, it was a big problem. You had to go to the registering agency in Benin, file your papers, they will send it to Abuja, and it used to take forever, sometimes 3 months. It involved a lot of processes. But what the government has done is to streamline that and make sure that if you want to invest into Edo State and you start by forming your own company, they've made it a one-stop shop whereby your investment, your company registration can be done. Before now, it used to take about a week. I think now they've reduced it to within 48 hours you get your certificate. And also, the taxes have been streamlined. There were a lot of double taxation, triple, even quadruple taxation before. But now, as an investor, the taxes have been streamlined, that no longer any double taxation or triple taxation before. Now, simple processes. If the investment you want to bring into Edo State is huge, you can inform the necessary ministry about it, and you can discuss with the government what manner of investment is, so that they too can be able to meet certain conditions. Because, like for example, I just heard you talking about this is the era of digitization, which is true. But for anything to do with computers, digitization, and digitization right now, the first and foremost thing you need is light. Without steady power, you cannot do that. So the government itself decided to invest into the Osiomon power plant, which is completely owned by the government. And if, as I'm speaking now, there are some government industrial parks on Stapley Road, whereby if you are involved in such an enterprise, you can apply to the government and you can lease space there. And those spaces right now, they have 24-hour lights. Well, starting from 3 weeks ago, they have 24-hour power, which is uninterrupted, supplied by the government at very concessionary rates from the Osiomon plant. And there are also other plans to make sure that other places too will have the same steady electricity. Because without electricity, really, that has been the bane of our complaints in putting investment back home. No steady power. But with that being provided now, it has made things a little bit easier. And also there are other government enabling policies, like no longer can you buy land and then they sell it to 20 other people through the CDA, or you spend expensively. You are coming to invest and you spend a lot of money on getting the CFO for the land with which you want to put your investment. Now, when you buy land and you want a CFO, the amount of the CFO during the time of Oshomole was 1,250,000. That was what I paid in 2011 for a piece of land that I had, and a lot of hassles to get it. And it took, even with that money, it took me a year and 3 months to get the CFO. But under Obaseki, I applied for, and I got another piece of land I wanted to build, and I applied for a CFO for that land. I paid 50,000 naira as the government fee, and it took 3 months, and my CFO was out, digitized certificate of occupancy. So I never bribed anybody. When it was ready, they called my phone and told me to come and collect, and I went there and I collected. So these are some of the what I call enabling environment that has been set, the structures that have been put on ground to welcome investors. Others will discuss it as time goes on. Thank you.
God bless you for that, my ambassador. Thank you so much. Your input is always very, very nourishing in this program. Yes, you just mentioned one thing that kind of struck my mind. You talk about the government. Their own part is to give people a soft landing, and that include the security and power. I mean, talking about power, electricity, the supply of electricity. You mentioned that about 3 weeks ago, some areas have started enjoying, 24/7 electricity or uninterrupted electricity. So we know that uninterruptible electricity has been one of the reasons why people do not want to go home, because if you live abroad, you have your power 24/7. Even though you pay for it, which you can do, the same you can do when you are home. But it is there, it's provided. That is a very big encouragement from the part of the government. So if the electricity is out there, so your investment will strive, obviously. And then you also talk about the Ocean power plant, which is the one that is powering to those that have started getting uninterruptible power supply in Benin City. We are talking about Edo State. Please don't forget that. Our focus is on Edo, but we're talking about Africa in general. But our focus is on Edo State, Nigeria, because we know that everything begins with Edo State. It is the heartbeat of Nigeria. That is the reason why you also see that the election that was just held was a unique election that has never happened like that in Nigeria. So therefore, everything begins with Edo, and that is the reason why we are also encouraging the Edolites who are in the diaspora with various skills of endeavor to go back home and invest. And that we are saying here, the ambassador just mentioned that the government is prepared to play their part by giving you a soft landing, providing security. The security has been improved. And then talking about power, the Ocean power plant, which has started to supply power to the people, is already working. So, and then he also talked about the land. When you purchase a property, it is not as it used to be, where you buy a property, you purchase a property, and then you find out that somebody else will show up and say that it belongs to him or his organization, whatever it is. But that has stopped. So if you purchase a property now, be sure that that property belongs to you. And he also talked about the C of O, that it was way back, in the previous government. To get a C of O was hectic. It was not an easy thing. There was a lot of bottleneck involved in it. And now he said financially it will cost you about 1.250 million, to get the C of O for your own property. He used himself as an example that in his case, back in the days during the previous government, he paid all that money, and I don't know if he was able to get it at the end of the day. And then he's saying that this new government, the new dawn with Governor Noah's Gordon Obasaki, he said there's a policy in place that you can only purchase, your C of O after you have your property purchased. To get a C of O for it is only 50,000, and it takes not more than 3 months to get that in place, which is a good news. I'm repeating this so that the people in the diaspora that are listening to this program, like I said, this is the platform where you get the best information, the actual information, the true information direct from the source. And the people that come in here for the discussion are people with integrity. People with integrity, tested and trusted in their integrity. They got it. So anything that you hear from this platform, believe me, it is the truth. Ambassador, I thank you so much for that. I'm going to go to Mr. Jacobs to help us out here. I know he too, like he said, he's an investor. He has an NGO that he runs in between the UK and Nigeria, particularly in Edo State. He has that. He has his own experience. Mr. Jacobs, what is the benefit? What will the people benefit from your investment at home, particularly Edo State, Nigeria? Mr. Jacobs.
Thank you so much, and my great ambassador friend, thank you so much. We miss you. It's always good to. I like to hear him, because he's very positive. I like to hear his positive input, and I always love that. May God bless you and continue to encourage you to make a difference for your country. I think one of the biggest things that I can say is that we are not saying, I love the part where you said in this show that you are engaging people with integrity. And that's one of the reasons why I am very happy to come and be a guest on your program. Because we're talking about integrity, talk about what is really on ground. We're not just making up some political comment. We're not talking from a political point of view, but we're talking about from our heart because we care about our community. And one thing I want to emphasize is this. Whoever is watching from anywhere and they say they want to go and invest in Edo State, for example, we're using Edo State as a case study tonight. Okay? Please don't be deceived or confused or don't get what we are saying in a wrong context. We're not saying it's going to be easy. Nobody here is saying that go and invest in Edo State and everything's going to be smooth sailing. Everything's going to be easy. No one's saying that. All we're saying is that the government is trying to make the environment more attractive and viable for people like us to come and invest. And some of the key things that used to be a challenge for us, the government is making an effort to make sure that they remove those barriers of entry so that we can start a business as easily as we can. Therefore, the issue of electricity power is being worked on, so that would reduce the stress on buying generator, buying diesel, breaking down of equipment. That's being worked on. The issue of security, if you ask me the two things that really challenge us in our business, is number one, the power issue. And luckily for us, thank God, we don't have security issues where we operate. But as individuals, we have to be very conscious. But the benefit, I would say to diasporas is this. Nigeria is what you call a virgin country. It's a virgin economy. There are so many diverse areas you can invest that you can make serious return on your investment. You just need to know and be good at what you want to invest in. Don't just go there and throw your hand to the wind. If you're good at what you want to invest in, you understand what you want to invest in, the risk of that investment has reduced by 50%. Because let me tell you where some of us go wrong. You sit down in your living room in Rome or Milan or somewhere, and you call this guy in Nigeria and say, listen, I want to do this business. My friend is doing this business. So I think the guy is making a lot of money. I want to go into it. You don't have a clue about that business. You don't understand that business. And then that guy will say, yeah, it's a very good business. They use bakery, for example. Bakery is a very good business. When you go into bakery, you make a lot of money, and before you know it, you built a house, you bought a car. So your motivation, straight away, is that you want to make 1 million in one day. It's not witchcraft. You don't make money in business like that. It's not a scam. Every business must grow dynamically. You must allow your business to grow dynamically. You grow by engaging and giving your customers the best experience. The local people you are going to serve, you need to understand them. Understand the environment. Understand the people, the workforce, the mentality, and don't expect to go to Edo State and say, okay, I'm going to employ 10 staffs. And expect those 10 staffs to deliver the performance that a staff in UK or America will deliver. That is what we call an unrealistic expectation. The way, the mentality at which we work in Africa is different from the mentality at which people work in Brazil or Mexico or America or in India. All the mentality, the culture is different. You have to understand that culture. And you have to say to yourself, as the leader, I'm going to accept this culture, and I'm going to get my staffs and gradually work on them. If not, you'll be sacking your staffs every week. Seriously. Now, I manage my staffs because I understand the culture. I understand that when the mob comes, you have to pay them on time to maintain the respect, to maintain their passion, to maintain their enthusiasm. When you delay their payment by 2 or 3 days, it impacts them so much that you can't believe the impact. And when we as diasporas are going to invest, you're making a difference to families, not one person, but families. There are so many unemployed youths that when you take 5 or 6 or 10 out of the street, you've taken 10 families out of the street. My staff now, they're renting houses around where our office is. A few of them have gotten married. A couple of now have children. They're settling down and developing their lives around the effort, the small effort that we are making. We all can make that difference. Don't wait for the government. Please, I beg you. Don't wait for the government to say, oh, the government has to do everything before you can go and invest. Start small. Learn what you want to do. If you have to go to school, go to school. If you have to go and do a part-time job to learn that thing in whatever country you are, go and learn it. And trust in your ability, and then take that ability back to your community. There'll always be tigers and lions. There'll always be armed robbers. There'll always be kidnappers. But you can manage your investment by having a better understanding, and don't let your expectation be some religious expectation whereby some pastor will tell you you're going to make 1 billion in 1 month. It's not witchcraft. It's business. Thank you.
Fantastic. If you are just tuning in, this is the Joe Brown Idele-Ero show. We are still here live on Facebook, and we also encourage you to subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/user/Joe-Ero100. That's our YouTube channel. Please do not forget to subscribe to it, and that's where you get most of the time. If you miss it on Facebook, you're going to find it on YouTube. Now, if you just tuning in, like I said, we are still discussing the issue of investment. Before I turn it over to the ambassador, who is also standing by, you just heard from our brother Ronnie Jacobs from the UK, talking about investment is a knowledge-based thing. You have to have a knowledge of your environment, understanding the culture of your environment. So basically what I mean by that is you have to be used to adapt yourself to the environment where you are investing. For example, those of us in the diaspora, as you just said, we adapt ourselves to wherever we are, and that works for us. The impact is being felt once again by our environment. So why can't we take this knowledge back home, invest, and especially when the government is giving us a lot of encouragement, talking about Edo State, for example, right? The security that has been a challenging issue is being addressed and is being improved on. And then talking about the power, also power sector is being improved. So why are we waiting? What are we waiting for? So this is what we are here to talk about today, and encourage people to go home and invest. So I'm going to bring in the ambassador to tell us more about that. What is the benefit if we go home? If we go home now to invest, what is our benefit? What is the major thing at stake that we should expect? What are the expectations? If we go invest at home, are we going to benefit from it? Are we not going to be scammed? Are we not going to be robbed? So what is the benefit of this investment we're talking about to partner with the government? Ambassador Uwaifo, please tell us something about that.
First of all, thank you once again. I must tell you that I'm very excited with the contribution of Ronnie Jacobs, because he hit the nail on the head in so many instances of his speech that what I wanted to say, he said most of it in that area. But I want to start from historical perspective, first of all, before I go to what you can benefit. Now, let us not forget, as Edolites, that we've been down this road before. Our forefathers, who never had the opportunity that we have today, never in history has there been so much information at your fingertips at the click of a button like we have today. What am I talking about? The internet. If you need any information about anything, you can just click your button in the internet, Google it, and the information is at your fingertips. Our forefathers never had that. But yet, 600 years ago, we were at par with Europe. The Benin Kingdom, those days, the Benin Empire, was the first in Africa to have an ambassador at the royal court in Portugal. And there was a lot of trade in palm produce and other produce, in elephant tusk then, because it was not illegal then, and so many other products that were being exported to Portugal. Now, the Portuguese came to Benin that time to visit the Oba. They sent their emissary, and they also had an ambassador in Benin City, which is the capital of Edo State today. And in their writings, they wrote that Benin had paved roads, Benin had street lights, and it was more developed than certain areas of Europe as at that time. So what I'm saying, we have the gene in us for exploits. That is why that gene that is running in us is what still makes a lot of Edolites to be in Europe, to be in America, to be in Italy. Now, having said that, I want to quickly speak on one area that I find that a lot of people make mistakes. One, the Bible tells us in Joel 2 verse 3, it says, write the vision down so that those who read it can run with it. It is a vision set for a time. When there is delay, do not be weary, for it will surely come to pass. So the first and foremost thing you do is to write down which area, like Ronnie Jacob said, which area do you have expertise? Which area do you want to invest in? You write it down and you make a proper plan. Most businessmen find it hard to write things down. They just talk, they give instructions to other people. There is no plan. They just hear and feel that others are doing it, therefore we can do it. You need to have a plan. And like in my case, after writing the plan down, Proverbs 19 verse 1 tells me that you present that plan to your maker. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Present that plan to a superior power. And it is guaranteed there in that same verse. He said, when you make your plan and present it before the Lord, your plan will succeed. If it is according to the will of God. That area is very important for me. That is why I mentioned it. Because I don't do anything without consulting my maker. Now, having said that, we now come down to another area. You don't have to compare that we said the government has made an enabling environment. That is true. Because we are not here to come and just bamboozle people with news and all that. We are here to tell the truth. Yes, enabling environment has been made, security has been reduced. But when you are in Rome, do as the Romans do. It is very important, like Ronnie Jacob said, for you to study the mentality, the culture of the people. Culture is not just about wearing beads. Culture is not just about dancing. Culture is not just about telling stories under the moonlight. Culture is learning how things have been done before, you improving on that with the modern technologies available in order to arrive at a good destination. Two, I see a lot of people in the diaspora. What they cannot do in the diaspora, they want to do it at home. What do I mean? They don't have patience. Oh, you people are bloody fools. You know, when I was in Europe, I've been to America, I've been to, you become a binto. All the time is binto. Our people are impatient. They just ignore such a person. They'll say, okay, all right. We will show this man that whether he's been to America, he's been to Europe, or he's been to wherever, we will show him that now we get ground. This is our place. Now we get the ground. We will see how he will come and Americanize us. You see, there is something called good relationship. You have to build a good relationship with your workers, with your environment. Now, having said that, I want to say that at no point in time in the history of Edo State have we had a chance like we have now. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Because as far as I do know, I read it every day, and people quote it every day. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. That is true. It's paramount. But nowhere in the Bible is it written that you must love your neighbor more than yourself. If you have not eaten in the morning, how can you provide food for a hungry man when yourself you are empty in the stomach? You have to eat first before you can provide food for somebody else. So that's what I meant by charity begins from home. You have first of all to discipline yourself before you can teach or mentor other people. And also, you have to be determined and you have to be rugged. Rome was not built in a day. Those who don't take risks will work for other people all their lives. And I want to make it quite clear here that Obaseki cannot do everything by himself. He cannot. He needs help. And Edo State needs help. Not help that you start having a sense of entitlement. In your business, you can have a sense of entitlement. Like what we are doing here right now in this program is free. Nobody is being paid. Ronnie Jacobs was not paid. I was not paid. Idele-Ero is not being paid for this job. We are doing it because of our passion we have for Edo State. We want other people to gain from our experiences. Now, I will use myself as an example, and I have been saying it in some programs that I entered. For me, this is the best time for me to go home. I'm a diplomat, yes, but I'm equally a big farmer. I came to East Africa and I saw that pig farming was a very profitable business. I went into it, and as I speak now, I've been able to empower 5,000 youths in Tanzania, leading to the government giving me 50 acres of land free of charge. I did not have to pay for that land. And in there, I set up a small school where youths are trained in pig farming, the rigors of pig farming, and when they graduate from there at a fee, we enable them by giving them piglets with which to start their own line. And so far, in roughly 2 years, they are able to count their profit in millions in their own local currency. overseas. It's my area of expertise. I should take it home and help my people. And I must tell you the truth. I'm not waiting for the government. Anyone who is waiting for the government is wasting time. You are not ready yet to do anything. A lazy man blames his tools. So for me right now, I believe the enabling environment is there. So I am going home. I even told myself, I am even giving COVID time to say, Mr. COVID, if you are not finished by November, ending early December, then I will leave you behind and go home and start my investment at home. You understand the point? So what I'm saying, if you don't take risk, you will work for others all your life. And no government. Why is the United States the way it is? I go into their history. There was a time when Washington could not even pay the troops. A man called Mark Harris paid for the troops. He was just an individual. He became the first governor of the Federal Reserve Bank. He started the Federal Reserve Bank. I still remember in 1907 there was the run on the stock exchange and all that. The New York State could not pay their workers, and there was a run on the banks. J.P. Morgan stood up, took bold decisions when everything were going down, and saved the country. So we can do that. A time has come right now for all Edolites with the genes of our forefathers in our blood, which I've already said before, with their DNA in us, the DNA that enabled a small tribe to conquer West Africa up to Ghana, you know, at the height of the power. How were these people doing it? It's still amazing to me. Yes, we have those genes. So what I am saying right now is this. It is time for Edolites, like John F. Kennedy said in 1960. Think what your country can do for, do not think of what your country can do for you, but think of what you can do for your country. I have turned that around and formed it this way. Think not what Edo State can do for you, but what you can do for Edo State. And finally, to tell you, the returns on investment in Africa is unrivaled anywhere in the world. That is why you have the British lining up, the Chinese lining up, especially the Chinese. There is a second scramble for Africa. You know, you need to see the resources that Africa has. This continent is blessed. Edo State is blessed. And the question you should ask yourself, before Obaseki came, we never knew that there was so much money in Edo State. See all these infrastructures, all this rapid development that he has been able to do under 4 years, despite all the fights with the EPM, distractions here and there and so on, what he has been able to achieve in his first term is quite amazing, and without borrowing a penny. Instead, our debt in Edo State is being repaid. Now you ask yourself, so all this money, where were they before? I just give an example. Before Obaseki came, every day in Oredo local government, they were generating 5.62 million. That's what they were generating per week. And when Obaseki came, he digitized the whole thing, trained the people on how to use computers, and made it modern. ICT, everything was involved. And the revenue jumped from 5.62 million to 102 million within 3 months. So what I am saying is this, my dear brothers and sisters, Edolites everywhere, I love you all. I don't want to eat alone. I'm telling you people, get ready, wear your belt to go home. Now, if you just allow me a minute, please, and Mr. Ronnie Jacobs, I will seek also your indulgence to allow me a minute to say what I wanted to say now. According to the Nigerian Guardian of October 21st, 2018, the UNHCR of the United Nations that is United Nations Commission for Refugees, and the International Committee on Migration, they said that the total number of Nigerians in the diaspora as immigrants were 17 million. That is registered immigrants with papers. So they are not talking of those who don't have papers. Now, they said that it was 17 million. And if we call to mind also, the UNHCR told us that 70% of those people crossing the Mediterranean and the Sahara Desert to go and die in the Mediterranean because they are scrambling to go to Europe were Edolites. They were Edolites, 70%. Okay. Now, let's just assume that out of that 17 million, that forget even the 70%, let's assume that Edo State, out of that 17 million, Edo State is responsible for only 2 million. Let's even take it, 2 million out of that 17 million, which is not so. Because Edo State might have 3, 4, 5 million, but let's just assume 2 million. Now, out of those 2 million, further break it down to the ground level and say out of those 2 million, 500,000 alone are determined to go home and create only 4 jobs. Only 4, just 4 jobs. You will have 2 million jobs. 2 million jobs created. That will remove the unemployment level in Edo State, and that will make even other states to come to Edo State to come and seek for work. And we know that when people have work, they can provide for their family, they can provide food on the table, a lot of other activities follow it. They need houses to be accommodated, they need food to eat, and so many other things. So this is why we are saying now, you that is in the diaspora, it is time for you to think what you can do for your state and not what your state can do for you. And please, no one goes into an exam, he know he will fail the exam and he will go to do the exam. No. You have to have faith in yourself that you will succeed. And like I said, investments in Africa, I'm quoting the Europeans now, by direct investment and officially, investment in Africa yields over 35% returns per year, which is the highest anywhere in the world. That is only the official one. But don't forget, people don't declare all their profits. People don't declare their profits. So if you take the undeclared ones, you will find that there is a lot to be picked in Africa. So I will stop so far there. Thank you for giving me your time.
Oh, my word. Thank you so much, Ambassador Uwaifo. You have been very, very, very helpful, giving the information out to those who have been skeptical of, why they need to go home and invest, because we are stressing it out here. Once again, I'm going to let you know that if you're just tuning in, you are listening to the Joe Brown Idele-Ero show happening live right now on Facebook and YouTube from Dallas, Texas. And you have been listening to the voices of Ambassador Mathew Beeki Uwaifo, a diplomat based in Tanzania, East Africa. And you have also been hearing from our brother from the UK, Mr. Ronnie Jacobs, who run an NGO in between the UK and Nigeria, talking about Edo State. Yeah, he runs his NGO in Edo State, but he's based in the UK, in between both countries. He goes home all the time to check on his investment out there. We are encouraging everyone out there in the diaspora, especially the Edolites, to go home and invest, because we have a government in place right now that has prepared the ground for you, giving you a soft landing when you come. You're not going to have all that fear that you used to have, put them aside and buckle up, as the ambassador have said. Try and go home and invest. Now, I'm going to take us to the audience. I've had people joining us today, and some are already contributing. I'm going to read what some of them are saying about the discussion that we have. First of all, I have our lady in the house. I'm going to say, I don't know why you are not physically with us in the show, but you chose to be in the audience today. I'm talking about Lady Lyo Moriyi from Boston, Massachusetts. Here is what she got to say regarding the discussion. She will just be listening. She said, the ambassador is very, very knowledgeable and selfless. He said only knowledgeable and selfless public servants can talk like this. That's the way the ambassador has been talking. And Ronnie Jacobs, he said, well done, Ambassador Uwaifo and Ronnie Jacobs. So, and she also went down to say, oh, great job, Honorable Joe Brown, Idele-Ero, for putting these programs together. Thank you so much, Lady Lyo. We are still waiting. We hope to see you back on the program whenever you get a chance. All right. I know that everybody is busy and they have their own personal issues to take care of as well. If you have any question to ask, or you have any contribution to this program from the audience, please do not hesitate. Just go to the chat box and leave your messages right there. I will relate it to the discussion right here. Ambassador, once again, I thank you for all that you have said, and you have all heard from him that listen, it's time. It is time. Forget about the fear. Because I remember I said it once before. One of my friends told me that, hey, if you face the fear will disappear. If you face the fear will disappear. And that is true. What is fear? Fear itself is just, and then he also talked about people, Ronnie Jacob mentioned that people think, they're going to fail. Like the ambassador equally said, that if you think you're going to fail, then you're going to fail. Why don't tell yourself that I will succeed? I'm going home to invest and I want to be successful. As long as you have the backings of the government, who has actually, they have encouraged people, they have said it in many many platforms, going to the government website, they are encouraging people to come home and invest. They are not lying about that. They mean what they say. So it is now your own turn. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. People used to say, there's no venture, no success. If you do not venture, how are you going to succeed? So that's what, to just buttress what the ambassador said, that if you think you're going to fail, obviously you will fail. But why doing that? Again, failure itself is part of success. That's the way I look at it. I say failure is part of success. Because why? If you try and you fail, try again, and guess what? You will succeed. Therefore, the failure has prepared you for success. I'm going to bring back in Ronnie Jacobs in a minute to help us out and about this topic. Investment is a wide topic. It's a very wide topic. All we are saying today is to encourage you out there in the diaspora to go home and invest. And even those at home are already doing the same thing. But it would be nice for those of us who left home, to join other people in contributing to their own nation. It's about time for you to give back. That's what we are saying. Yeah, we're not going to remain forever, sojourning abroad. So it's about time to go back home, and then give back to our people. Ronnie Jacobs.
Hi, and thank you so much. It's been a fantastic time, and amazing that we're coming towards the end and the last segment of the show, but it's been a very good learning. I think we've talked about some of the challenges that diasporas face. We've talked about their concerns, their fears. We've talked about encouraging them. I think it is important for me just to mention the how. How can they make this move? My brother quoted a very fantastic scripture from Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 to 3. Write down the vision, make it plain, so they that read it can run with it. Although if on an appointed time, stand, tarry. It may take time, but at the set time it will come to pass. I want to re-emphasize something. If you want to start anything, let me use maybe a Nigerian accent to say this. If you want to start anything, my brothers and sisters, start small. What is all this mentality about you must start big? I don't understand where we got this mentality from. You've never tried something before. You want to try, and you're starting so big. Me, I don't have that energy for that kind of stress. My brother is talking about, he runs a pig farm in Tanzania. He trains people in pig farming in Tanzania. I don't know him, but I can guarantee you that when he's going to Edo State to invest, he's not going to buy 1,000 acres and start with 1,000 pigs. No, this is somebody that has experience. I'm sure he'll buy maybe 10 or 20 pigs to start, even with the experience that he has. You cannot go into any investment in a new culture and a new environment and just open big. Only conglomerate and big companies can do that. Why? Because they have financial shock absorbers. They have a model in which they are replicating. I'll give an example. If you're a church in one of the church or something, like a Redeemed Church, and the Redeemed Church has a model, or Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they have a model. So any country, any state they go into, they just put the same model that they have in there, put people in there, and they start to develop a relationship with the community. It's the same thing, my brothers and sisters. If you want to go and invest, if you feel that this thing is burning in your heart, start small. If it's one person you have, let it be just one person. Start with that one person. Understand the market, understand the problems, understand the environment, the challenges. Go through the heartbreak, go through the pain. Put a little bit of investment that even if you lose that investment, you're not going to cry. Don't just mortgage your house. Pack all the money in your account and say you're going to Africa to go and invest. When you haven't studied the terrain, don't understand the business, don't understand the culture. You think you've been there 20 years ago, you think the knowledge that you have in where you are living at the moment is going to apply that same knowledge where you are going? It doesn't work that way. No business works that way. Business is about understanding the culture, being patient, and grow organically. Grow step by step. Use the first 2 years just to learn. Trying, making risk. As the presenter said, make mistakes, learn from the mistakes, understand the market, understand the government, understand the environment. Don't depend on the government. Pay your taxes. Employ people. You see, I always say, I was saying this to a friend of mine the other day. I said, listen, we are so quick to give tithe and offering. We are so quick to make all these payments and send money back home to our families and friends. But we're very slow to invest. If you think about it, even if you invest $100 a month, there are businesses that you can invest $100 a month. In the next 2 years, you start making a reasonable return on your investment. I said, no one is saying leave your family or leave the country where you're staying. No one is saying that. Yeah, I'm not even encouraging that. I'm not saying, oh, pack your things and go to Africa and stay. No. No one's encouraging that. I'm just saying, go and invest. And let your investment, let the course take its time. Then when you understand the business, when you know the business, when you're now making reasonable return on your investment, then you can start thinking, okay, maybe I can spend more time when I go and then come back and have a balanced life. Then eventually you can decide You and your family can now sit down and decide what is best for your family. But my encouragement for now is please start small. You've been waiting for so long. The biggest challenge in our lives to do anything in life is to start. We're very afraid of starting. We're very afraid of making that step forward. We're very afraid of the unknown. We blame witchcraft. We blame our village. We blame the guys flying in the sky and flying at night. We blame my brother has tagged me, don't want him. God will help us. So I wish you all well, and it's been a pleasure talking to this show. And I hope that as you've heard from Joe Brown and heard from the ambassador, we've been able to encourage you to start thinking about investing back in Edo State. The environment is right at the moment. Invest back, take your time, start small. If it's 100 by 100 that you have, put a small farm there. If it's snail farming you want to do, if it's pig farming you want to do, if it's, I don't know, just do something simple and small that will take less of your stress and allow it to grow. In 2 years, at least you have the government for 4 years. The same Obaseki is going to be there for 4 years, so at least you know that your fund is secure for 4 years. Your investment is secure for 4 years. So try with that 4 years and see what happens after that. I wish above all things that you prosper, and thank you all so much for having me on the show, and I wish you all goodbye. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Thank you,
thank you so much, Mr. Jacob. Please don't go away. Hang in for just a few more minutes before you leave, okay? I know that you have other things to attend to, but give me a minute here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in again, this is the Joe Brown Idele-Ero show happening live on this live broadcast from Dallas, Texas, on Facebook and YouTube. Now, we've heard so much about this investment issue today, and to me, it has been a great discussion. Now, remember this: we have been in support of our families back home. All of us in the diaspora, one way or the other, we'll be supporting our family. And I'm thinking that is not enough. That is not enough. Why don't you think about this? If you can do all this that you're doing to them every time, you're going to get requests for one way or the other to support them. But when you go home and invest, and these people are engaged, they are engaged through your investment, I don't think they're going to task you anymore, that is going to be stressful to you wherever you are. That's another area we need to actually look into. I want to challenge the ambassador now to talk about that. Which one is better? Going to invest at home and then be where you are, where people are going to be calling you for support and all that. Why don't you go home and probably contribute to their livelihood through investment? Ambassador Uwaifo.
Yes. Please, before I go into that, I need to give some critical areas that investors are looking for. Now, what I mean is this, that you must, like I said before, have a plan. And I want to say that anyone that provides a service, that's what the Bible tells us. Whenever you provide a service and you are of service to your community, you are always service to yourself. I repeat again, whenever you provide a service anywhere you are to any community, your life also is being serviced. So, I will go to the first one. What is the problem you are trying to solve? What exactly is the investment that you want to put on the ground? The problem must be very clear. Like Ronnie Jacob said, you cannot go home and say you want to grow bananas, then you are worried about how oil is sold, get into selling crayfish, get into selling snails, when the original thing that took you home was to sell bananas. You should concentrate on what area you want to invest in. And once the problem you are trying to solve is clear, the next thing is, what is your solution to that problem, and what makes your own solution unique? What makes your solution unique? And the third thing is, Is it an unemployment problem, or is it, what are you trying to do with your investment? Those things must be made very clear. Then you must understand the market. How large is your market? How many people will be interested in the goods you want to produce? And how do you intend to get those goods to the market and all that? You must know that. You must have a business model. He mentioned the model of Redeemed Church and Jesus Christ Church of Latter Day Saints. You must have a model for your business that you can replicate anywhere. Also, your business must be scalable. You must be able to tell how this business will grow from time to time, what is needed for it to grow. You know, you must understand that. And also, you must have a team, create a team. Business is not about being romantic or being compassionate. In fact, most businessmen, there is nothing called compassion. It's about profit. So you do not go and take and surround yourself with your immediate family at home, with your brothers and sisters at home, who will feel a sense of entitlement and feel like, this is my brother business. So whether we go to office 8 o'clock or we go 10 o'clock, not be our business. No. Time must be set. The rules of the game must be obeyed. Whether brother, sister, whatever, they must obey your model. And then, not only that, also, you must make sure that you separate yourself from the business. And your brothers are separated from the business. Some people form a business and call it, let's say, SYZ Nigeria Limited. From there, the same business, they take money to pay school fees, they take money to buy fuel, they take money to settle funeral affairs, they take money to buy personal things, the wife take money from there to shop. That business in the next 2 years will collapse. You must, as the owner of the business, place yourself on salary. And any other thing you take from the business should be a loan from the business to you, which must be repaid. You must discipline yourself. Discipline is of utmost importance. You separate yourself from the business. The business, you treat it like an individual. If you have to take money from your company, you know that yes, you are going to that individual to apply for money. And once you take money, you must take it as an interest rate payable. Maybe the interest might be small because it is the company's money, but it must be paid up at the time. Once you are able to express, once you are able to put in place these disciplinary measures, then you are on the way to succeed. Also, you must also try very hard. Traction. This is where he was talking about starting small. Yes, when you are a beginner, you need to start small. But when you have been doing these things for some time, you have experience in it. It's just like a computer programmer or a computer engineer. Maybe the first time you are starting, things are very difficult, but practice makes perfect. As you continue to practice it, you learn along the way, and you are able to build traction. And what is traction? Traction means what you have done before. Have you done this business before? If not, start small. But when you have done it before, you should not worry. You should not start creating obstacles in your mind, because you see, worriness is the debt you pay to the devil for money you did not borrow. You understand? Worriness, you worry about this, you worry about that. Look, like Roosevelt, the president of the United States during the Second World War, you know, like he said the only thing to fear is fear itself. Once you can banish fear, you are okay. And what are we talking about? You go home, you start your business. It doesn't mean if you are from Europe, America, Spain, whatever. You go home first and you tell yourself, in the next 3-4 months, I'm at home. and you start to identify trusted hands. It's not everybody in Nigeria that is dubious. In fact, a lot of people want jobs now, that they will hold on to that jobs. And not only that, your state has created an enabling environment. Like for example, about the land. Why is it that the land that people and double sale to people was nipped in the bud? Because anyone found to have broken the law of the CEA by selling land to so many people was brought to the courts, was charged to court, and the court, he underwent due process of the law. And where found guilty, he served time. He was wrong. So this deterrent made everybody to say, me I not feel go jail. And everybody behave themselves. A society where the rules are not obeyed is looking for destruction of the social fabric. So what I'm saying is this: you get fashion. Like for example, in Tanzania, 5 years ago, I just started my farm with 3 pigs. 3 pigs and a lot of prayers and a lot of hard work. In fact, at a point, I was, despite the fact that I'm a diplomat, when I finish work, I go to my farm. Before I go to work in the morning, I'm in my farm. I make sure the pigs are fed. I was cleaning the place myself to learn firsthand how to keep a pig. Now, to cut it short today, five years down the line, I have 3,970 pigs in my farm. And I slaughter every month 250 pigs that bring regular income. And that has led to building a butchery. And in the same 5 years, I have trained 5,000 youths, with each of them going back home with three piglets each, 2 male and 1 female, to start their own pigs and their own pig farming. And most of them have succeeded. Once you keep the rules of your business, it has to be. So when I am going home now with the experience I've got in pig farming, I'm not going to start in Edo State with 3 pigs or 100 pigs, because I already have my business model. I have done it before. I have the experience. So I will look for the environment. And now, if I want to start, I'll be starting big without expecting to make losses because of experience. I will know who to employ because I've done training before. I'll be able to train my people, and I'll be able to, empower them. And I will be able to bring other investors in. Listen, if you cannot go home to invest, Edolites are already investing in their state.
Yes.
You are already investing. The diaspora alone sent 25 billion US dollars home in 2018. That was 6% of the GDP of Nigeria. After oil, the diaspora remittances was the biggest export of Nigeria, the biggest money spinner for Nigeria. So diasporans are already investing in Nigeria. Only that most of their investment is for stomach infrastructure of their families. That is it. And stomach infrastructure does not yield any profit.
Yes,
You just eat it, you consume it, use it for funeral, this and that. You go to the toilet and throw as many bombs like the US was fighting Iraq. And then that's it. You know. But now, those same money, you can come home when you are on leave. Sit down without even telling your people, look, I want to invest. Sit down, look at the environment, watch the environment, collect your own team. Is very, very important. Set the rules and set your structures in place. And if the investment is big enough, consult those in authority. And lastly, read. Get as much information about the business you want to do from the internet. Because the day we die, we never stop learning. Learn, read. You cannot say you want to be an investor and you don't even read the autobiography of people who have succeeded in business before. You don't even know how others did it. I was able to talk about JP Morgan, talk about Harris, because I read. I'm able to talk about a truck of McDonald's in America because I read how they started. how Henry Ford started and made the Model T, which was the first assembly plant in the world. I read. So you have to read, you have to renew your mind, as the Bible said. So my people, like I was saying, this is the time. I'm telling you people, so that later you will not say, oh, they did not inform us. You are now on Joe Brown and Rose program, Joe Brown and Rose show. And you are hearing me now and hearing me well. In the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to be an economic boom in Edo State. Believe it or not, the same God that told me of Baseki is going to be elected for a second time is the same God that has told me, my son, this is the time to go home and put your money at home so that you can reach your desired goal. And if you notice, since last year, from June, when I make any video, go and look at my videos again. When I want to end it, I will say, come November 2020, Obaseki will be sworn in as the governor of Edo State.
Yes.
And people were telling me, you are so authoritative.
Right.
You are talking with such certainty. Right. But I said, I know where I get it from.
Right.
My God told me, and it's going to be. In fact, when he was disqualified, I said, look, you have been disqualified to be qualified.
Hallelujah.
And I thanked me for him, and I said, look here, everything is good for you. So, what am I saying, my people? The same God has told me, this is the time to go home and invest. And I am leading the way. I'm going home to invest. This is not about diplomat now. No, I'm a big farmer. To tell this thing. That is, I started it as a hobby, but now the hobby has become something I can invest in. So what am I saying? Let every Edolite think. And then secondly, we are just saying if you want to invest, you want to invest. No. Investment is not even about you involving yourself. You can form investment clubs and invest to other companies already on the ground by checking their books. Ask for their books. Ask what they want to do. There are so many startups that don't have capital, but they have good ideas. Ask them. Like for example, you find Rekit and Koma. Rekit have the money. Koma have the brains. They join together and they form Rekit and Koma, which has stood the test of time. It's over. Rekit and Koma is nearly 200 years old. You know. So what I'm saying is this, my dear people in the diaspora. It doesn't mean 2 million people will leave diaspora to go to Edo State. No. What we are saying is this. You can find investment, you can form investment clubs and find investment which you can invest in with the government guaranteeing a return on your money. It can be done. If you can meet your Baseki's government now and say we are a group of investors, we want to invest in this area, they will tell you where to invest that will bring you good returns. You don't have to be there. Carnegie in America was able to be a multi-billionaire. What did he say? He said, I employ men and I make millionaires. At a point, he had over 100 millionaires working for his company. So, what am I saying in effect? If your job is so important, if what you are doing in Europe is so important, then you can find a way to fund startups. You can find a way to invest your money to companies already on the ground. And then you can start with a little capital to test the waters. You know, you don't even have to involve yourself. Find their management model. Find their accountability model. That's why I said you want to see their books. And you can start with that. And also, the food industry now is so big. It's so big. A lot of the plantain going to Lagos. Anytime you are a diaspora and you are going home, you drop in Lagos airport and you are going home. You see so many lorries with plantain, with yam and so on going to Lagos. They are from Edo State. The people are now doing snail farming. There is fish farming. You can grow soya. You can grow rice. And then finally, let me tell you the truth. There are also ones that are made available, which people are not using in the South right now, or the North. They are far ahead of us. The Ministry of Agriculture in Nigeria, together with the federal government, have some soft loans that they are giving to farmers. Like, for example, the Bank of Industry in Nigeria. If you as a diaspora in Congo and you have 20 million, they are ready to support your business with another 20 million at 3% interest or below, payable per annum, 3% interest per annum. All these programs are there. Study them. Gone are the days when you have to do all your things by yourself. Our governor trained in Europe, he trained in America, sorry, and he's trying to bring the same model we have in America back home. And that is why he is creating the structures. Like now, after he's sworn in, I know he's going to hit the ground running. Already the civil servants are being retrained in the Leadership College Institute built by the state. This was unheard of because most of the things that drag us down is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is being done away with in Edo State. So what I'm saying, my dear people, my support for Baseki is not just a support of saying if you win an election. No. My support for Baseki is looking into the future and seeing an El Dorado. And what I'm saying now, my dear, the march to El Dorado has started. Everybody needs to put their hand on deck, board the train, and join the march to the El Dorado of Edo State. Otherwise, once the train reaches the station, you will be too late to. It's only a man who is not wise that put a cart before the horse. The horse should be before the cart, in front of the cart, not behind the cart. So, my dear brothers and sisters, I think I've spoken enough to encourage everybody and to say the time to invest is now. The hour is now. And if you do that, putting everything into consideration, I think you will remember this program today, that yes, there was a program about this. And like Ronnie said, no one is telling you it's going to be easy. In fact, nothing in life is easy. And even thieving is not easy. How can you go to a man's house, you didn't know where the door is, you don't know how to build the house, and you are able to break in and steal and leave? That is the best brain, only that the brain is being employed in the wrong way. The same brain, you can put it in the right way and be able to make a profit. So this is what I'm saying. And there are so many areas we need to go. After all, tell me, what PhD does Dangote have? Is Dangote a professor? Is he a PhD holder? There is money. Stops you from doing the same thing. You need to discipline yourself. And finally, as I said, the time is now. The hour has come for us to join the march to an El Dorado, support our governor to achieve his mega agenda. And after his mega agenda, we fight that if he says an agenda we support for 2024, then the Ishan better start looking for a candidate now that can understudy the governor. So that when the time comes, they can present such candidates and not take us back. No mediocre can be governor of Edo State anymore. Thank you very much.
Oh, what a great day. What a great day. What a great day. Thank you so much, Ambassador Mathew Beeki, Uwaifo. And once again, I know Ronnie Jacob has given his last word. And even though I told him to be on the standby, I know he has exhausted into the topic of the day. And he has done so well as well. I want to thank the audience, the people in the audience. I see Osagona, he said, Osagona Okumbo, based in Europe, he said, coming back home, actually going back home to invest is the best idea. And then another person, my brother, Michael, I guess he joined kind of late a little bit, but his contribution here is say what make our people run away from investing in Edo State is insecurity. Once there is adequate security, the fear will vanish. That's what our brother Michael has said. Before you join us, Michael, we have talked about all that, that the insecurity is being drastically reduced at this time, this new government. So there's no fear about that anymore. And somebody also said in the program that, yeah, there has always been insecurity everywhere in the world. There is insecurity to some extent. But we are, expecting that this government has done so well by assuring us that the security and insecurity issue has been addressed and is being reduced. And Ero Michael also said again, they say another fear is family. Is family wahala. He said, God help us. Yeah, Ambassador just talked about that, and I said it too, that sending money home, we contribute a lot, to the economy of our country, especially in those states. But that is still, it's because it goes into the stomach of the families. But if you go invest and then they are engaged, it will be something different. So that's all I got from the audience at this moment. Once again, I want to say thank you so much to the ambassador and Mr. Ronnie Jacobs from the UK. Ambassador, we hope to be back again on Wednesday, midweek, with an interesting topic, which I will announce later to everybody. I will put it out there on Facebook and WhatsApp. Put it out there to groups, to individual pages, to my own personal page as well, so that we'll be aware of what is coming on Wednesday. And that time, it's going to be same time, 5:30 p.m. Nigeria and UK. Please apply your time to that to fit into that. And then in America, it is 11:30 a.m. Dallas time, Central time, actually. So apply your time to fit into that time on Wednesday. And then again after Wednesday, we'll come back Saturday. The program is Wednesday and Saturdays, same time. But we're going to have another interesting topic on next edition, which is Wednesday. Thank you so much. Ambassador, we once again, you are blessed. I'm glad. I am blessed to have you in this program as always. Please endeavor to create time for us so that you can come out here and give to the people the truth and direct the messages from direct source, like you have always done. Thank you so much, sir, and God bless you. So that's it for today. You have anything yet to say, Ambassador? I'm saying thank you.
Well, just thank everybody.
Okay.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay. I thank everybody for a wonderful program, and I thank you, Joel Brown, for what you are doing. It's very interesting, and we thank God. This is the way. We never thought in our lifetime that the time will come whereby we can contribute our own quota to the state we so dearly love. In fact, we love Edo with a passion, and we love our governor with a passion. I personally believe that the governor was divinely selected right now to take us from Egypt to the promised land. We are already in the promised land. We are in Canaan, tasting a land flowing with milk and honey. And that is what I'm inviting my people in the diaspora to come and do. Cross the River Jordan to the promised land. We are on the march to an El Dorado, and I will tell you people that the march is interesting, It is exhilarating. It is exciting. Join the match. Invest at home and make it true. No one can have a perfect situation. Nothing is perfect. Only God is perfect. Even at the time, heaven was not perfect. That is why the devil fell down from heaven to the earth, where he's looking for whom to destroy. And one way the devil can destroy people, he will tell you by insinuation that it is impossible to create dangerous obstacles in your way. But we have learned from experience and with time, with doggedness, that when people throw stones at you, instead of throwing it back at them, use them to build bridges and cross. And that is why we were able to use we use all the stones and everything to build bridges. And we have crossed that bridge now to Canaan. Please come and invest back home. And finally, think what you can do for your Edo State, your beloved Edo State, and not what Edo State can do for you. God bless you all. See you again on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. With that, I want to say bye-bye to you and to Mr. Ronnie Jacob and the audience. We'll see you on Wednesday, same time. Do not forget to tune in and then also subscribe to my channel on YouTube, www.youtube.com/user/Idele-Ero 100. God bless you. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.